are back and better than ever with a little current craft by Zombie Nation. We are talking joint variation with Zombie Nation. So here we go. With joint variation, as we continue from direct and inverse variation, one quantity may vary directly as a product of two or more other quantities. This type of variation is called joint variation. If a variable y varies jointly with variables x and z, then y equals kxz. So this is the same. Remember, direct variation was y equals kx. Well, all we're doing is including another variable that it varies with, kxz, where k, my friends, is the constant of proportionality. Okay, so k still is hanging out. Okay, so let's take a look at an example. That's always the best way to go. All right, the area A of a triangle varies jointly as its base and height. Okay, I'm stopping right there. We have y equals k x z. That is the general form of joint variation. The area of a triangle varies jointly. So that means I replace the y with the a equals, my constant is going to stay there. Jointly, as its base b, I'm going to replace x with b. And height h, I'm going to replace z with h for height. Bam! If the area of a triangle is 48 square inches, when its base is 12 inches and its height is 8 inches, find the area of a triangle whose base is 15 inches and whose height is 20 inches. Oh, okay, so we got to find k to do this. So I'm going to write this over here, a equals k BH. I'm going to have to use this twice, and let's see what I know, because I'm asked to find the area of a triangle whose base is 15 inches and whose height is 20 inches. So I have to find the area, so I don't know that. Let's see, base is 15 and its height is 20, so all I need is k. And I can find k right here because I'm told right here that the area of a triangle is 48 when its base is 12 and its height is 8. So that's going to be k times 12 times 8. And we would get 48 is equal to, let's see, 12 times 8 is 96. So that's going to be 96k. Divide both sides by 96. And we get, let's see, 1/2 is equal to k. And now we get to play Pac-Man. And we replace k with 1/2. And this is easy peasy. Now, I don't, 1/2 times 15 is a bit of a pain because you get a fraction or a decimal, but I don't have to multiply in order, remember? So I'm just showing you a quick way to do this in your head. 1/2 times 20 is 10, right? And then 10 times 15 is 150. So the area, ooh, what is that? The area of this triangle is equal to 150 square inches. Easy peasy pumpkin pie. Okay, so that's a really good example of joint variation. And here is a summary of all the variations that we have. We have direct variation, y equals kx. Inverse variation, y equals k over x, and joint, y equals k, x, z. Okay? And sometimes we have to use combined variation. We might have to use it combined of direct and inverse, or inverse and joint, or direct and joint, or a combination of all of them. Okay? You just have to read very carefully and see how it all shakes out. Okay, the load L that a horizontal beam can safely support varies jointly as the width W and the square of the depth D. Okay, so I'm going to write that out right away. So L equal, let's do joint variation. That is y equals k x z. L is going to replace the y. The constant of variation remains the same. It's always going to be K. As varies jointly as the width W and the square of the depth D. So I'm going to replace X with W and Z with the square of the depth D. So that's going to be D squared. But we're not done. And inversely as the length. Well, what's inverse variation? Inverse is y is equal to K over X. Okay. Well, in our equation that we've already written so far, we already have the K. We just don't have the over the X. Okay. Well, the X in this case is the L, the length L. So I'm going to put L down here, just replacing the X with the L. And we have already answered the question. Express L in terms of W, D, L, and the constant of proportionality, K. And we already did that right there. Okay, so you just have to read carefully, use your known formulas, and there you go. Okay, let's try this example. The owner of Henrietta Hots finds their weekly sales of hot dogs S vary directly with their advertising budget A. So let's just stop there. Direct variation, Y equals KX. Well, S varies directly as K, A. I'm going to replace X with A, their advertising budget. And inversely with their hot dog price P. Okay, inverse variation, Y equals K over X. Okay, well, I already have my K, and my X is going to be replaced with my P, and it goes in the denominator. So there we go. When their advertising budget, there's our formula right there. We're done with the formula. Now we just have to solve the problem. When their advertising budget is $600 and the price of a hot dog is $1.50, they sell 5,600 hot dogs a week. Okay? Write a variation expression S in terms of A and P. Include the value of the constant of proportionality. Okay? So now we have to find the value of the constant of proportionality. Okay? So we started here, and let's use this information right here. When their advertising budget is $600, so let's just put in what we know. Okay? Advertising A, 600. Okay? And the price of a hot dog is $1.50. So I'm going to write that as 1.5 for P right there. They sell 5,600 hot dogs. S is 5,600. And I don't know what K is. That's what I'm looking for. K times 600. So now I just have to solve for K. So I multiply both sides by 1.5. Okay, think of this as 1.5 over 1. And then these cancel. And so I have 1.5 times 5,600. I'm just going to leave it like that. 1.5 times 5,600 equals 600K, because everything else is ones. And then I divide both sides by 600. I don't have my calculator out, so I'm just going to cheat a little bit here and tell you that 1.5 times 5,500, times 5,600 divided by 600 gives me K equal to, let's see, 14. 14. Okay, so that means I can now write my formula up here with the constant of proportionality as requested for part A. So the answer to that, the A is S equals 14A over P, which means we can now finish B. Okay. Find the expected sales, that's going to be S, if the advertising budget is $800 and the hot dog price is $1.75. So S is going to equal 14, the constant of proportionality, and remember this is the sales, the number of hot dogs sold. Advertising budget is 800, 14 times 800, over the price of the hot dog, $1.75. Okay. And 14, I will tell you again, I don't have my calculator, so I'm going to cheat. 14 times 800 divided by $1.75 is equal to 6,400. So the expected sales is 6,400 hot dogs. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you enjoyed a little bit of Kern Craft by Zombie Nation. I am out!